Looks like we're live on both. So I'm going to go ahead and click. Thank you. That's right, it is just 2 for now. $64. Cool. That's so much ISO. I look forward to selling all of it in 28 days. Or maybe I'll finally give up and stop trying to sell all of my ISO. We'll see. Cool. And out of curiosity, did we skip to the same one in Mutant? Hey, Maya, how's it going? Yes. Okay. That does not surprise me. 13,000 7-star shards already is not bad. More in the pile. Okay, and then I'm double checking because... yeah, that I want. So the first 3 blocks in the Saga Showcase Tower. Does it tell us how many blocks there are? Not really. Anyway, let's warm up a little. Hey, Phil, welcome. Alright, so this first one starts with 8. We're still way ahead. I'm just going to throw them down. Oh, actually, before I move on, I still have these Pride events to move through, so I should be prioritizing out of the skill characters Chielth, Yelena, Valkyrie. And Korg, and okay, and Moondragon. Okay, and Black Cat. Okay. That is why I want. We can throw Chielth here. Moondragon here. Where's Black Cat? Black Cat's actually at a deficit. I'll probably just leave her off, because I already have 2 for that one. Cool, and we'll play until those are done. Getting suspicious? Well, remember, you only get these once. They're intended to help you progress. Morning, Greg. Feeling a bit better earlier, but still rough. Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that, but hope you feel better soon. Don't even need the specialty. Did not mean to dash back there. I have equipped myself with Scotch, though, so you may see some more of that. Nice. Did I not just hit next? Why did I come out of this? Okay, well, I'll pay attention there. Did not mean to use Shield here, that's funny. It's okay, she has stupid crit stats, so we're still alright. That's it, I definitely hit back. I promise that was intentionally letting him hit me. Because it lets me do this. Hey, John, how's it going, man? Did I miss the planning call? My part of it, at least. I think Bug might be going, but Sim and I got through pretty quick, and I decided I wanted to get it on this. But I think Bug said that it was looking pretty simple, and ours, like I said, was quick. That was a big crit. No, because that's just not how the game works as far as matching lore goes. She didn't need it. And more importantly, to directly answer you, is that her designer was intending for her to be a more offensive variation on Professor X. Um, and so having like all of the control immunities doesn't necessarily make sense the same way. Like if you want to be diegetic about it, maybe she can answer the oh nice, that was it, wasn't it? Maybe she can answer the people messing with her mind. Because, you know, she is powerful. But does she care to? Is she focused on that? Is she as careful as her twin? Or is she just trying to put her fingers through your brain? If you follow what I mean. Hey, Naresh, welcome. Welcome, Jack. Nice, dude. That's good progress for this early. Reverse psychology. I mean, it's not really reverse psychology. The way I've always felt about this kind of stuff as a consumer is that, like, I think a lot of people approach these lore questions from a perspective of why is this not the first thing that I expected? And I think often you can get around those things with just like, what is a reasonable explanation, right? Like, if I start from the assumption that they had a good reason for this, what would the reason be? And so that's kind of what I just did, right? Like, I I remembered that the designer had that justification about the offensive, but then like also you can kind of explain it. I think Captain Britain's definitely spike higher, but they are a larger source of her damage than Jean's, right? Because for Jean, her neuroshocks are damage, but they're also more of a currency. She's just building up to the big special too. Hey, work, how's it going? That is definitely arguable, Akil. Whoops, didn't mean to do that. Ouch. Britain's neuros spike way higher than Cassandra. Yeah. I think if you think that Cassandra's neuros are better than Betsy's, it just means that you've never actually seen Betsy pop off offensively. Well, it's not just that, Arishem. Like, it's not that we're not taking into account lore. It's that it's not just lore, right? Because lore makes for a pretty bad video game if you try to translate it directly as your only guidepost. And so you let meta considerations, you let other design principles also be your guideposts. And then that can allow you to start down different roads. And then you go, does this still make sense for the lore? Right? Like, it made sense for Jean to have neuroshocks, even though, for the most part, she often doesn't actually, like, kill people by messing with their minds. But it made sense for her to have neuroshocks. I also thought it made sense for her to actually kill by hitting you with things. And we could have just done that in terms of, like, oh, she gains extra attack rating during her special too, because actually the sentinels are just really big and they're hitting you. Or because I also wanted to use Daunted to juice the neuroshocks, I can make it bursts of damage because then that's something that's specifically boosted by the Daunted, right? Like, it's not that lore doesn't matter. And it's not even that lore is necessarily a backseat thing. It's just that it's not the driver the same way. Like, it's not the only driver. You guys use her offensively. If you've ever played Coliseum and you own Betsy and you haven't used her, you should. She is a podium option most weeks. Yeah, what works it? Should have brought past. I missed out. I'm sure she'll come back eventually. I'm definitely never going to say, yes, you should have spent on the game. But I will say, if you're going to spend on the game, the battle passes have pretty consistently been excellent value. Yeah, exactly, John. Any information on how many points for the realm event? A little bit. I'm sorry, dude. I have no idea. The was not because I don't think that's like a fair question. It's outside my realm, so I don't have anything for it. Neuroshock basically is telepathy, Mirish. It's psychic damage, right? In D&D terms, it's reaching into somebody's mind and messing with it. Like,
There have definitely been times when Jean and Emma and Xavier are messing with people's minds in like comics or in other media and they go, ow, right? That's a neuroshock.
Do any of you have defensive abilities I can fail? Not really. Okay, well, I'll just throw you somewhere. No, no worries at all.
Yeah, neuro is just the Latin prefix for like mental mind, right? Like neuroscience is the study of the brain. So neuroshock is kind of a fancy way of saying psychic shock. Hey, Wicket. That is basically summoning you, isn't it?
Ouch. That's fine. Yeah, the ascension for Dr. Bong was solid for sure.
Thought I was going to like towers a lot more than I do.
I'm sorry to hear that.
I mean, there's still time. I think the interesting thing about towers is after all of this initial grind, right? Hey, Madrox, welcome to Twitch. Um, like I legitimately think that the okay, and if I rank up this person, then I can move this person over here, and if I want to make sure that I have this person available for that defender, so that means I need to use somebody else over here. Like I think all of that is interesting. But this right here, the one time get through the easy stuff, this ain't it. But that's fine because
I can do that stuff while streaming. You can do that stuff while watching TV or watching other people stream. Probably good that this launched during the World Cup for those of you who enjoy a little bit of football, but is what it is.
towers messes with your damage both positively and negatively, Niresh, based on the difference in the challenge rating between the two characters.
So if you have a challenge rating advantage, which I do for I think all of these fights, then you're doing way more damage than normal.
Case in point. Yeah, we're aware, Jack. We did think it had been fixed before it came out because I remember reporting that one as well. Um, but sadly not. The issue is if you're losing keys, it means that you are pressing next more than once to try and get to the next fight. And so trust me, I understand spam tapping. I am a light attack spammer myself. But if you can try and hold yourself back from that, you should prevent too many keys from going away. Trying to stay slightly ahead of DLL is motivation. That's funny. Passive Radiance income for big accounts. I mean, another way of putting that is it's a good reason to have a big roster, right? We've been talking for a while now about how the game needs more of that. Ouch. Did her medium whiff there at the start? Oh, Onslaught is objectively overtuned. Oh, I swear he started to move there. I'm so bad with Frank. Definitely not all credit goes to me. I did a lot of playtesting in towers. There's a lot of like systems designers and UI work and engineering and stuff that goes into this. A lot of the immediate design was specifically Kabam Neuro in the balance department. In exchange for one Ascended Mojo. I know how to learn Frank. I have not put the time in, but I appreciate it. Yeah, this early part's just going to take a while, Sans. I was always a breath guy. Incentivizing that is good. Just feels somewhat lackluster as a new launch. I can understand that. I think this is one of those things where like and I'm not saying that this is like a something that you did wrong, but I think when we ship a new mode, the last couple times we've done this, it has been aimed a little bit more, hey dragonflies, at like the end game experience. And I do think that Towers is going to be a part of the end game experience, but in some ways it's kind of a more foundational thing. Kind of like collectives. And I think collectives were mostly fun because we got to open a bunch of stuff and we're all playing a gotcha game and we like toys, right? There's less immediate opening here and more of a like gameplay grind. And so what am I getting at with this? I think this is more of a foundational thing like collectives where it's going to be really important to like the background mechanics of how the battle realm works and what your incentives are. But it's not necessarily going to be like yeah, it's to your point, it's not going to feel like Colosseum does to you or I. So I get where you're coming from. It's easier for me to have those different expectations because I was there through the development. Oh, I know getting hit in the face is part of Frank's play style. I would just like to get hit in the face more productively. Can I clarify something for you? For towers, how much does actually ranking a champion up affect the damage they will do in a fight? A fair bit. Um, well, no, but that's the thing, is that challenge rating also goes up with rank up, right? Or are you asking how much challenge rating goes up with a rank up? Just to make sure I'm on the same page. Hey, Cyber. Hey. I mean, this part is slow, right? Which is why I poured myself a double. Whew, I promise I haven't had that much. I poured myself a double rusty nail before the stream started. I've been having trouble speaking all day. I was tripping all over myself in a design meeting earlier today where I was stone cold sober. I'm still pretty sober. Hey, Saeed, welcome back. Props to the Tyra Posner special mechanic. Yeah, it took a while for Neuro to figure out exactly what he wanted to do with that. Because it's like you don't some agency over the timer feels important when the rooms get difficult, but you also don't want towers to be a mode that just pauses everything during specials and says, hey, for the rest of time, it is an active, like, huge benefit for characters to have dots and long specials. And so what he needed to do was find a middle ground, and I think he did. Oh, it's a pretty simple one. Work. I am just doing monkey shoulder and Drambuie. For those of you who don't know what a rusty nail is, that's literally all it is. It's probably my favorite 2 ingredient cocktail. You do like roughly, I don't know, what is the ratio? It's like 9 to 5 or something kind of asymmetrical like that of blended scotch, and monkey shoulder is a good inexpensive one, to Drambuie, which is a liqueur made with scotch and spices and honey. So yeah, it's delicious. I have a keen memory when I was younger, of getting a drink in, I think it was in Saratoga. Yeah. Before an audition I was taking down there for an orchestra. And I forget if he said something or I said something, but it was just me and the bartender in the bar. It was kind of a sleepy town at that part of the year. Um, and somehow Monkey Shoulder came up as a cheap scotch, and he immediately corrects me and goes, "No, no, 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 no. Monkey Shoulder is an inexpensive scotch. It's not a cheap scotch." That's always stayed with me. Bit of a prude when it comes to scotch intake. Does that mean you generally don't partake at all, or you just take it neat? And I'm sorry, Saeed, I honestly don't know how to help you. If it's something that I'm supposed to set up in stream chat, like if you're hoping for a bot or something, I don't know how to do that. I haven't done it. But you should just be earning the kabam drops if there are still any to earn this week, because I'm done with mine by just being here. Neat. Yeah. When it comes to like single malt and that kind of stuff, I'm there with you. Um, but I like the flavor of. There's another one that's not coming to me right now, but Monkey Shoulder is definitely my go-to blended. Yeah, I like Rusty Nails. I also like Scotch and 7 Up sometimes. That one's a good one. That's kind of my go-to when there's an open bar, but you like at a wedding or something, but you don't want to ask the bartender to do something difficult and they don't have like pre-batched anything. They're just like, yeah, that's my rum and coke is Scotch and 7. I do love paper planes. That's bourbon, but those are good. Those are good cocktails. But I am now. A regular rank up is 10 CR, Jude. So like that was the end of that block, so we can take a look at this real quick. Yeah, like see, Shang-Chi is a rank 4, right? Mantis is rank 3. So Shang-Chi has 10 CR on her. Let's see. Dr. Bong is rank 4 A1, so he has 15 on Shang-Chi. Patriot is rank 5 A1, so he has 25 on Shang-Chi, 10 from the rank, 15 from the Ascension, right? He's also 5 short of Jabari and Atuma because both of them are rank 4 A2. So Shang-Chi's 230 plus 30 from Ascension. And then Stellar Star, or yeah, down here you have. No, wait, what am I thinking of? Oh, yeah, I missed Stellar Star-Lord's Ascension. That's why. Never mind. I was trying to remember. I guess all of my skill champions that I have ascended are rank 4 or higher. That's kind of cool.
Nope, not him. He has passive true accuracy. And he purifies stuff. Alright. You'll do.
Start paying attention to CR. Honestly, like this is the kind of thing that we should have had from the beginning. Because there's a term in design that we talk about a lot called breadcrumbing, right? The metaphor is probably obvious. Hansel and Gretel, breadcrumbs through the forest. Um, but what it means in design is giving you little pieces of information and feedback to lead you towards something that's important. I'm trying to think of an example of this right now. My mind is totally blanking. I know there's tons of breadcrumbing in my characters because I've intentionally done that and talked about it. But um yeah, the general idea for breadcrumbing is leaving pieces of information that naturally guides you towards things that are important. Challenge rating is very important in this game overall, right? As I know you know. But it's something that a small percentage of players really think about. And so Towers being an entire game mode that has such a strong focus on it and puts it into such stark visibility is probably going to be really good for the long-term literacy of the player base, right? Agreed, Wicket. I am using towers to do the pride objectives on purpose. Did I get 8 hours of sleep? No, a little bit less. I tend to not sleep super well. I wake up a lot during the night. I have trouble going to bed. It is what it is. And thanks, John. I appreciate that. Kate does have a lot of breadcrumbing. Ah. It's like, what are these? They keep filling up, but I don't know what they are. That's good. Sims, hey, throw a or use a medium call out, I don't think is really breadcrumbing. Because, yeah, it's not guiding you towards doing the thing. That's more of like a, oops, I realized that if you don't read the info page, you might literally have nothing happen in the fight at all, and so I need to tell you how to play this. That's more what Sims is. Um, Breadcrumbing is more if you're just playing, things happen naturally that kind of lead you towards that stuff. Yeah, that's actually true. Kate's block proficiency is part of that. Yellow paint. That is exactly what it is. I agree, man. I totally understand why selectors go off immediately. I know all of the arguments, I can make them. It would be cool if the selectors didn't go off until you left the objective menu or the reward menu or whatever, so that you could claim like 8 rewards at once and then multi-select the dang selectors. Also, Jack, don't slander Moondragon. She's awesome. Hey, Dot. If you're asking if there's breadcrumbing in Spider Pig's kit, probably. Like, breadcrumbing just tends to be something that happens naturally. Um, but it's the kind of thing that we tend to say in reviews where it's like, this is a cool idea. I think you can probably do some better breadcrumbing to like lead me towards discovering it organically. Because another thing that you can say is that the discoverability of the mechanics is low, right? Like there's a whole bunch of design jargon words that kind of interact with each other. Nice, Cyber. I'm glad to hear that. Nice egg. That's cool. Punish illiteracy? That is the opposite of breadcrumb. I don't know what I'm doing here. Excuse me. We are 100% going to kill in a single burst. I should probably just be throwing a special one. I definitely should. Excuse me. Yeah. I probably could have killed with a heavy literally on start. Has anyone ever been hit with Karnak's Special 1? Oh, yeah. I've been hit with Karnak's Special 1. Look, you play the game long enough, everything happens. Hello, KM. How's it going? Yeah. No, is that's what we were saying, is like, I don't really think that that's breadcrumbing. Works comparison to yellow paint is kind of a better one there. I think I'm hitting my wall staring at 280 CR. Yeah, that sounds about right. Because depending on how many floors are there, like, it's tough to even have 4 characters that can profitably attack 280 CR. 8 is tough very tough for a lot of people. The current special one 5 minutes ago. That's very funny. Also, hi Zarafa. Hope you're doing well. Oh, I know, Harrison. Quite proud of that. I actually made it nicer, didn't I? Because that was in the original kit, wasn't it? I don't know. I can't remember. I'm wondering if my 235 bong can punch up that much. Sounds to me like you need to turn him into a 245 bong. Which is exactly the point, of course. That's cool, Jude. Yeah, that's a lot of charges.
Thanks, Danny McBride. Is that Danny? I can't even remember.
Yeah, I do think I made it nicer because it requires charges, but yeah.
Had to leave that in.
Yeah. I mean, going back, no way in heck would I have left the steadfast in against mutants, but he gets punished in so many other ways against mutants. It's fine. Hey, Walrus. I've been pretty good. How about you? If I had my pick of the litter for symbiotes, who would I pick to design? I'm not sure I have any preferences for symbiotes, really. Ah! Okay. These pride objectives move so slow. I'm glad, Kurt. Queen in Black Hella. I mean, do you want me to build another serpent? Because that sounds like how I end up building another serpent. So many pop-ups. I know, dude. Been good, just chipping away at towers. Saga Showcase was really fun. I'm glad. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that one. Rainfire. Would we ever add Jeff the Landshark to the game? Probably in some way. Like, I don't think it could literally just be Jeff, right? This isn't Rivals. I don't think that we can really make the animations work the same way. We need things to be a little bit more uniform in size. Um, but like, the obvious thing is something along the lines of what we did for Howard. That can work. He could have a jetpack a la Rocket. Um, I have a personal favorite for how I would love to add him that I will not spoil, just in case it ever happens, but I will claim credit if it does. I think Jeff would be neat. Yeah, exactly. Like, what class would Jeff even be? Given everything we just said, I think Tech is probably the most likely. But yeah, he's a bit of a weird one. Honestly, it's been a while since I've flexed my defensive muscle, and I kind of miss it at this point. Oops, that's fine. I have definitely heard that from you before, Kurt. Let me save up some units first so I can A1 the next defender. That's funny. I wouldn't want to only build defenders. It's a kind of difficult that can definitely wear on you. But when it's been a while, it's a very fun puzzle. In some ways, it's game design at its purest, right? Yeah, it sounds like you picked up some XP, Chinmay. That's good. If I do end up making another Terror on defense, make them more like Deathless Thanos and less like Serpent. I mean, I don't know. That's not even like close to the same thing. Thanos is dangerous on defense, but he's a 4. Serpent was a 5. That's a meta pillar. It's a different assignment. Serpent 2.0, it's in July. I repeat, another Asgardian has hit the... Sorry, that's a bad joke, but... hopefully I paraphrased it enough that it doesn't offend anybody. And speaking of defenders, looking back, would I have changed anything about Serpent? You have no issues now, but just retrospective. Let me think. There are a couple things. It's not a long list, and I think it's probably none of the things that a lot of players would have asked for. But I do have a list, yeah. The number one thing that I would change if we were doing like just small balance patches, which again is something I wish this game had room for, is that I should have scaled the charges Serpent loses when knocked down by level of the special. Like, I don't think that I was wrong to do that at the time necessarily, because we were trying to do this thing where like Mystic spammed special 1 as a bit of an identity, and so I was leaning into it again. Like that was the assignment. Thank you, Wicket. But I think in hindsight, it just would have allowed a bit more organic counterplay if I had allowed just a little bit more charge removal. I think he would have been totally fine there. The other thing I would have done is I think I would have cut his Fury stacks to only 10, maybe even 5. Because he just he's plenty safe. He did not need to have the same ceiling. Because like maybe I could have worked out something with the true focus, having a duration but not being fully eaten by Mojo, because that was kind of the concern there. I wanted it to be indefinite specifically so it didn't just evaporate with atrophy. I probably could have worked out something there that would have offered some more tension on offense, but you already lose it if you get hit even once, so I think that's probably just fair. In which case, if it would be difficult to make him less automatic, then I think just bringing down the overall damage would probably be the way to go. And similarly, I think I would have made those changes first and seen, and then if we still felt like he did too much, you could maybe reduce the bonus to his instant damage when he does the skill expression thing of breaking the opponent's block with the unblockable, because that's almost exclusively an attacker key. And that would have slowed him down a little bit, but like I think that's all. And like I said, 2 of the 3 things I just mentioned are attacker nerfs, not defender nerfs, which is why I think that that's not at all what a lot of people would have asked for. But he's doing what he was designed to do. You've changed too much, then that changes. Hey, and thanks for the raid, dude. Good to hear you. Still, I'm looking from the shadows. Exactly, Cyber. I fear Gene more than him. It's probably a function of your relationship with reverse controls. Yeah, sure thing, Walrus. That's a good question. And I do appreciate that you phrased it respectfully. Makes me want to engage with it. Give an INCCP. Hey man, if it was my choice, I would. The only thing I thought of at the beginning was possibly lowering the power gain on the death immunity very slightly. We could have, but we wanted it to be the kind, like, we wanted it to be tuned such that if you had been baiting specials properly, you were fine. And if you had been aggressive and you were wrong about your ability to kill him, you wouldn't be fine. And I think that is pretty much what it is. So I don't really regret the tuning on the power gain there. I do think that, like, looking back, I probably could have put in the info page the fact that he's more likely to throw specials while he's gaining power from the death immunity. Because he actually has a very strong special 1 and a slightly, or no, he has a strong special 1 bias and a very strong special 2 bias while the death immunity is active, because we weren't trying to be mean. Well, we weren't trying to be excessively mean. But I don't think people know that, because they just see, oh god, he's gaining power. Oh god, I died to a special 3. And so they just like don't appreciate that nugget. And so it would have been nice to tell people looking back. I do feel pretty strongly we don't need to communicate every beneficial AI bias like that on info pages. But just for the purposes of assuaging, I think that one would have been a good one to communicate. Can't wait for a Quake rework in 2050. Dude, I would love to rework Quake. Like I like the character. Um and I like Chloe Bennett's portrayal of her, to be honest. And I think there's something there. I just promise you that like the biggest Quake fans would probably not like how much I would change her. I still want to do it. I think it would be the right thing to do, but yeah. How I learned that making the forums weep is a design objective. Complimentary. Thank you. I mean, where is this? I have it somewhere. We do like one sentence summaries, and sometimes we do emotional goals on our design docs. And like, yes, God of Fear came up on serpents. But I think I had a sentence somewhere near the top, which was, "Oh God, why isn't he dead yet? Oh no." And I think I nailed that part. Stream longer than intended, so I gotta run. Yeah, man. Appreciate the raid and take care. Our campaign, I'm gonna catch someone's attention. Absolutely. 5 out of 5 defensive rework for her would be really cool. Ooh, that's kind of triggering because I hate fighting Quake, but that means you're not totally wrong. I think you would want to build it around debuffs though. Because that's always been one of the things I've liked least about her is just how interactive it is. It's she charges heavy and you're gonna have a bad time later. But you're not wrong. Like you could definitely do the Destroyer of Worlds thing with her. Hey, Hoosier. I'm eagerly expecting the name change in the Discord. How do you know I didn't already do it, Cyber? On Serpent, I think one of the only things I toyed with is something not really possible with the tech. Have him take a hit impact while throwing specials, not damage, but he takes the hit. Yeah, I definitely don't follow exactly what you mean there. Explaining both adds and removes. Oh, like just what I might change now? Yeah, I could. That feels like more of a members only thing though, and I don't mean that for a like for a making people pay for it thing. I just mean that like I don't particularly need that video shared to Reddit with the worst caption. Yeah, but that's the thing, Arishem. If a power gain special focused character is completely solved by pushing him to his special 3, that's backwards, right? I have no regrets for that one. Nice, that one's done. Yeah, exactly, Kurt. There's a very fine line when it comes to building defenders.
between like allowing counterplay and just weakening them to the point where they do nothing. And you've seen it in the past, right? Like, whatever your personal opinions on Ruby, there are people who feel she's too easy. And I think she probably is a little bit too open. There's an argument that High Evolutionary was a little too easy. But that doesn't mean that their designers were wrong. And in that case, they're actually the same designers. That's funny. Excuse me. But that doesn't mean their designer was wrong to make them that way. Because some abilities you want to err on the low side on. Yeah, it's a tough thing, and that is exactly why, like I said, I take pride in my defensive designs, but like, it's not something people get perfectly every time. Four special threes in a row. I know exactly what node you were on. It's a relatively unique interaction. And who was in charge of reworking Captain Britain? Do you have a bone to pick with them, Azed? Same person who reworked Maestro. I don't know if that changes how you feel. Ah, you're basically saying if you do the gladiator thing into Serpent, then you can do it? I think that would defang the special 2 too much, and it would make, like, somebody like Tigra way too good a counter, because her neutralize could fall off, and then you could still get rid of it. But now I understand what you're saying. It's a cool idea, but I am not sure that it would have worked with his goals and what he needed to do in the meta right then. Maestro and Captain Britain sensing a theme here. He also reworked Time Belt. Ruby and Evo feel easy until that meta comes along where you're stuck without a counter. Yeah, man. When my Patriot gets banned in Battlegrounds, I am not a happy camper seeing High Evolutionary, let me tell you. I mean, High Evolutionary was intentionally built for the auto block to not have bite, right? But that's the thing. High Evolutionary is built to be like a multi-layered trap. You go, the auto block isn't hurting me. That's fine. Oh, I'll just bait the special 1. That's fine. I'm avoiding the special 2. And then the combo detonation smacks you from behind. So I actually really like him in that way.
And to Zaratha's point, I feel like he is doing a pretty good job reinforcing his asks. He's kind of accomplishing his purchase or his purposes. He's maybe a little bit soft as a 5 out of 5 defender, but that doesn't mean he's not advancing the meta. Yeah, I think there are probably people who would be upset if we made the change, but I personally would love it if we changed Captain Britain's SIG to just be Energy Pen, so that like it cut through most people's energy resist, but it didn't fully negate somebody like Guardians. Like the fact that you can have 30,000 energy resist and she says no just feels wrong to me. It's a cakewalk until Lumitrix gets banned. Yeah, similar feeling. Yeah, we definitely could have given High Evolutionary the parry. I just think that if we had, that's going to start putting more pressure on skills having stronger auto block counters with better uptime, and specifically with like the skill class answering stun in a way it maybe shouldn't. Which is always one of the hard things, right? Like, not only do you have to think about how this defender works and what incentives they have, but like, what happens to the class down the line? And what happens to the class that's listening for it? And it's a fun job. There's just a lot to it. Good defender outside of being Frankenfood. Most people don't trust him Frank. Yeah. And like literally just him giving Frank extra value is solid. Who designed Null? I really feel like he's one of the most well-rounded champions. Null is very well designed. So I will say Null was designed by Coop, who was gone for a while and recently came back and did Stellar Blade. I have tremendous respect for Coop. He built a lot of my personal favorite champions. We were just talking about Guardian. Shang-Chi is also his. Penny is his. Very talented designer. We all do, rib him mercilessly for the fact that Null is barely a freaking cosmic character. Like, he's first and foremost a science character, right? Like he has poison resist, he has degen resist, he has more non-dots than almost anybody else in the game. But he's also kind of a mutant because he punishes combo gain, and he's also a little bit of a tech because he reduces combat power rate. And he's also a little bit of a skill champion because he has instant bleeds that care about him landing crits. He's very, very weird. And he has caused us many problems in planning around him. Yeah, exactly, Kurt. Definitely a lot of MTG here. Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely not feeling bad for Nefaria, John, because I think Nefaria is probably objectively too protected. But yes, I still feel that way. Coop did design Stellar Blade, yeah. It was actually his first Mystic, which is kind of funny. Yeah, Tuma is very weird. I think I've talked about this before. I don't know that I've ever really broken it down in a video, but like I don't like giving an answer when people ask me like who's your favorite champion? Who's the best design champion? Like I don't like ranking things like that. But I think that Atuma is one of the best illustrations of like carrying an idea to its logical conclusion. Because literally like Atuma started with the lore note, right? That the best laid plans go astray. And then also the other times where he doesn't actually have good plans, sometimes he succeeds anyway. Excuse me, I need to get this done. I got hit a bit in the face too much. And so like that led Mimic, Atuma's designer, to the idea of inverting ability accuracy reductions, right? And then okay, how do you make more than 100 ability accuracy matter? How do you make 500% ability accuracy matter? Well, obviously, you make things trigger multiple times, right? And so we figured that out. Take care, Cyber. And then how do you make things triggering multiple times work for things that need up times, right? Like true accuracy made sense for his targets and for not wanting him to be quaked. How does it make sense for him? Like, how does he turn that trigger multiple time thing into how does he translate that to binary abilities? Well, he has them fall off one at a time, right? And so he can turn it into duration, right? Like this, there's so many things about Atuma. Like every decision in that kit comes back to the core idea of inverting ability accuracy, which was like almost a joke, right? Like that was Mimic being like, bro, you know it would be cool and then following it all the way to the end of the line. And I have a tremendous amount of respect for that. I really think Atuma is a very cool kid. Indeed, Wicked. Come here, bud. Thank you. And he's right. It was cool. Yeah, no, I like Atuma.
Just taking quick stock. The designer for Nimrod no longer works at Kabam. I forget what their name was, like their player-facing name. I think it was like Kaboosh or something. They did a lot of good stuff. They arguably should have been a little bit more careful, but they did good stuff. Like they also did Tigra. I think Sunspot was them. There are others I'm forgetting right now. But incredibly creative designer. I came up with things that nobody else really would have. Take care, Wicket. Which means I'm gonna pass you. Maybe so. Yeah, should have seen that coming. That's fine. Yeah. No, Nimrod is super annoying in that way. Like, Nimrod is one of those that personally made me start to see increases the potency of as a bit of a dirty word. Because, like, clearly what Nimrod Sig is supposed to do is make his shocks better, right? I don't think that his designer built the Sig with the intention of, oh, and you know what? Nimrod at max Sig is going to get around shock resistance. I don't think that was crossing their mind at all. But it does that, which is unfortunate. Yes, Honeydew was both Bastion and Carolina. No, Tiger was not John's design. You might be thinking of the OG Black Panther rework. Ouch. God, I hate Dracula's frickin' specials.
marginally ogre. It's okay. Good practice. Make your next champion dimensional beings. That's funny. I wonder who the next dimensional being we add will be. I mean, I can think of one in 2027, which I know is going to make some people get the red string out, and I'm sorry. But I'm wondering if there might be one before that. Oh, yeah. There will be one before that. Immortal Hulk is interesting, yeah. That's also a coupe design, for the record. I think Immortal Hulk is cool. I think the game just evolved in a different direction for him. But you know what? He's probably pretty good in towers. Nah. Okay. Give me approximate. Will Lumitrix actually throw a special in towers? Find out next time on Dragon Ball Z. Dormammu used to be good on defense. Yeah, and I used to have long hair. Times change. You know what? It just occurred to me. Valkyrie, Hulkling, and Hercules are actually a little bit worse in towers than they are in other game modes. Because of the overlap with how towers scales. That's okay. I think they're doing all right. It only affects them pushing at deficit. Yellow and long hair sounds very early 2000s. You're not totally wrong. I think I had long hair specifically from around 2006 to 2013 or so. Ouch. don't know why I did that. That's fine. We have more than enough advantage here for this to... Nice. Yeah. These aren't incredible rewards, but they're coming along. Definitely would have been nice to be able to get quick fill in for launch. But that's okay, because theoretically, by the time we could get it in, none of us will ever need it. Is what an upcoming feature? So what the sales pitch for Pixie? Really easy access to Neuroshock for the anti-miss, has anti-evade versus skill champions, which makes her very good at not dying to Lumitrix. I promise that's not as targeted as it probably sounds. She has pretty damn good hazard shift utility. She has 3 different resistances, if I remember correctly. It's at least 2. And then she's just fun to play, right? Like big prowess, Neuroshock scaling with prowess, opponent melts. Pixie's cool. Quick fill? No, not necessarily. I don't think we have it in development. We might get it in the future. But like I said, because we didn't have it ready for Tower's launch, it was something that didn't really come up until later, when it was too late to get it in. It might be difficult to justify ever actually building it because it's gonna be difficult. Or because like it's just probably not gonna matter for anyone after this initial launch when we go through this early grind. How is Neuroshock uptime? No, it's not just the special one. The special one does short, powerful Neuroshock passives. She has a debuff on the heavy or the evader, somewhere in there. But like she has 100% uptime on the Neuroshock if you play her properly. Yeah, definitely a bit early to say there, Saint. Yeah, I think Pixie is quite good. I think people just kind of slept on her on release, unfortunately. But I'm hopeful that people start figuring her out. She can punch up pretty well? Yeah, that makes sense. There is another Stellar Champ after Goblin, yes. I think we announced there would be 4 plus Doom. Pixie handles skill evade in a way Onslaught doesn't. I don't know. I mean, there's overlap. But I think the game is a little more deep than that. I think there's room for both. Yeah, there's a reason that I leave Twitch chat closed on the live streams, Erashem. That is not the best of the player base. Hey, Robert, how's it going, man? She-Hulk Guillotine will have vision after BGs. Need 20k units for King Groot. Good luck, dude. I respect the grind. Ouch. We're getting high enough now. I might go ahead and turn recoil on. Whoops, didn't hold heavy long enough. Excuse me. Yeah, it was dumb. I don't know why I did that. That'd be cool, Saint. I wish you luck with there. Nah, that's not Yelena doing irreparable damage. That's people having the memories of Goldfish and not being able to think past Yelena. Bluntly. Prowess is still good. Oops. Meant to throw that into block, but that's alright. Doesn't really matter. When are we going to have Shatterstar full ability? I don't know what you mean, Ernest. Shatterstar's full kit has been public for a few weeks now. I made a video on him. Excited to use Phyla versus High Evolutionary in War. I don't know that I would do that with the Wither Accelerate. It sounds like you might have a bad time. No, man, it's reverb. Trauma's the debuff form. Ouch. That's what I get for cracking jokes. The reversal being amplified by the reverbs and the towers is pretty funny. That is exactly what is going on with Fox Arishem. He is also a Mimic champion, or they are also a Mimic champion, and that one specifically really underlines the fact that Mimic sometimes, as one of our other designers put it, treads where gods fear to walk. Because Vox is a very, very cool ability or design that maybe we shouldn't have shipped. Those degens are so weird. Seem to have missed it. Gotcha. I do have a video on it if you want to check that out, Ernest. My usual spotlight. That's neat, Rajat. I'm glad he's working well for you. Was going to open a Titan to try to awaken Ruby. Just opened an Awakening Gem and pulled tech, so now I have everyone in the Titan awakened. Nice. It's nice when that happens. And I got you. I was just making fun of you. Or not making fun of you, just making a joke. Mimic's doing okay. Their last champion was Madeline Pryor. Before that was Imperiosa, and I think the one before that might have been Enchantress. They were in Boss Land for a while. Actually, I would argue it's exactly the opposite, Jack. I think, and this is more me knowing how the code works, to be clear. Again, I think that Vox is a very cool kit. I think Vox is also a cautionary tale that says we probably should not do that again, at least not the way that they did. I mean, I think Vox did it as best as we possibly could at the time, right? Like, Mimic is a very competent coder. I just think that we've seen enough knock-ons from Vox that I think we wouldn't want to do it that way again. We would want to make sure that we had tech to answer the problem a bit more directly. Hey, CS, thanks so much for the raid, dude. I appreciate y'all. Welcome, everybody. That's not fair. He's not supposed to be able to hit me before I go unstoppable. Alright. That'll do. Yeah, and for the record, I don't want this to read as... I thought she was coming in. That's very annoying. I don't want this to come across as, like, me throwing shade at Mimic. I know I said he was a competent coder, but, like, I have also done things where my tech solutions have aged poorly, right? It's kind of inevitable. So I don't mean it as shade at all. I just think that we have learned some lessons. Just hit level 67. Nice. It is really nice how easy it is to switch masteries. Just flip over and boom, 60% more damage. Not for everybody, but, you know, baseline. Yeah, no, Vox is really cool. Hey, JT, how's it going, man? Thanks for the follow. And I think it would have been neat with Vox to like still do a lot of the same things, but just with more modern tech. That allowed them to be a bit more responsible. And again, a lot of that is implementation stuff, but I do think if Vox worked the way that they probably should, one thing that you would lose is that Vox was never supposed to be a Yelena counter, right? I'll be honest about that. That would probably have changed if we had the tech that I wanted. Yes, Arishem, it is definitely something that comes up, unfortunately. Yeah, no, I appreciate you stopping by. We definitely have plenty of this left to do. Just a cool 15k non-crit bleed. Silly, silly. I've enjoyed having a reason to spend a bit more time with Hitmonkey. And I like having him around for towers. Like, he's never really felt like my kind of champion for the rest of the game, even though I appreciate a lot of the aspects of his design. But Ascension gave me a reason to care about him, and then the fact that he also scales quite well in this game mode where even if you get hit, it doesn't really matter all that much is cool. Hey, Harry. Grit Monkey, indeed. What was my last rank up? I think it was Bong. I think it was Bong to rank 4 from all the way from rank 1. I don't know what my next one will be. Now that the Essentia stores reset, I probably have the ability to do something. But I'm also holding on to resources for July for my next champion. Because I want to make sure I have that available. Anybody bleed immune? No. Oh, 1. That's fine. Go ahead and throw her down there. Yeah, she has enough buffs. Okay. Gotta do a 3-way swap. That's fine. Give us a mutant at regen so I can use the Wolverine relic. I understand. Oops, that's gonna hurt. Excuse me. Nah, I mean, you are missing some other characters that benefit from it, Harry. Cassandra benefits from it. Toad benefits from it. Sauron benefits from it. It's not as narrow as you think, but it is narrow. Yeah, Bong is awesome. I never liked Simo before, but he was one of my first A2s, and now he's rank 5. He's growing on me. Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, this is one of my favorite things about rarity resets, right? Like, people always talk about them as though they're a negative, but I love a reason to play with characters that are off my beaten path, right? I've said this before, but like the difference between an A minus and a D plus in this game is just so much smaller than most people pretend. And having any reason at all to take a second look at people that you thought were C's, at least for you, is one of the best possible things the game can do for you. Haven't tried Towers out yet, just logged on for the night. Easy enough to figure out. Yeah, I think so. The biggest thing that I would say is just set your roster for the whole floor and then do the whole thing at once. Don't just set it one at a time. And as long as you do that, I think it's not necessarily self-explanatory, but pretty easy to follow. Nice try, John. Soon enough. I do wonder when they're going to tease it. because it's fun to talk about that stuff. No, Vicious was refactored a while ago. Um, Vicious as a type improves effects, and that includes the relic. The relic's description might be out of date, but we changed all of the Vicious. It does help Cassandra. Yeah, Dilly's right. Hey, Klops. I love rarity resets. I would have preferred 8 stars. Love 12.0 because it was like a mini refresh. Yeah, I get it. Unfortunately, like, excuse me. Personally, I probably would have preferred 8 stars too in a lot of ways. Because I am just an unapologetic fan of rarity resets. Unfortunately, um, it's just true from a data perspective. Welcome, Dovahking. That we lost people both with 6 stars and 7 stars. Like our numbers just show a dip in active users. And they churned is our term for it, right? They left, they didn't necessarily come back. Um and the problem is when people churn, it's very, very difficult to ask them why they churned, right? Like it's very difficult to go, oh, hey, we see you're no longer playing Marvel Contest of Champions anymore because we launched 7 stars. What could we have changed that would have made you stick around? And so we'd seen that enough that we were like, okay, we need some level of rarity reset. We need some answer to the escalating saturation. We need an increase in the power ceiling of the game. But we've also seen this happen with rarity resets, and we're not sure it can happen again. So let's try something different this time. And it may not be perfect, but like that is where Ascension came from. And I think we got a lot of things right, even if maybe not everything. And we'll just kind of see where we go from there. Does Heimdall need his awakening? Not necessarily. The Fate Seal immunity is pretty nice. Sig resets are awful. I don't really agree with that either. Because like part of the reason that you need a rarity reset in a game like this is economically, or is for economic reasons. Um it's another thing to sell that isn't necessarily power creep, just being completely transparent here. And so that means that the sig resets serve real value. But I do get where you're coming from, because one of the things that has been nice about Ascension is that it's made it easier for us to highlight characters that we might not have put as early in a theoretical 8-star launch. Yeah, I think you're right, Dilly. It's always multiple things. Almost always. One was burnout, two I'd accomplished basically everything, three relics was going to change. I was right about the last one. I still think relics were a net positive, but I understand where you're coming from there. And yeah, I do think, like, to that point, the people we lost from the 7-star reset maybe weren't going to stick around much longer anyway, right? Maybe they felt like they had accomplished everything. Maybe they were kind of done with the game. Maybe they were bored with war. Like, there's an excellent chance that, like, they just would have been the people who stopped logging in that year anyway. But it's really hard to know. Exactly, Zarafa. Like, it has downsides, but that doesn't mean it's all downside. That's not really a discussion for stream min, but I have a comment on that I can share with you later. Oh yeah, no, I'm fully with you there, Dilly. It has the combo extension is insane. Like to our earlier discussion about Serpent, I think if relics had not existed, I would have made the death immunity milder, or that would have been at the top of the list of things that I regretted with him. But they are here, and so it's not. Like I think that's a cool piece of skill expression that you can play around him um with the strikers. Right, but that's the thing, Wendy's. Serpent shipped how long after relics? Like a full year? So I think it was fair to take them into account when designing him. And I'm not saying that you're saying it wasn't, but just yeah. Should have heavied earlier. Whoops. With Ascension, I just feel like I'm always going to be chasing the champs. With new rarity, I pull that chase champ once and I'm happy because even if I never pull it again, I can take it to the highest eventually. I get that. From a design perspective, I'm not sure that's a positive, which is part of why we are where we are. But yeah, no, I get where you're coming from. There, yeah, we've chatted about this before, so I'm gonna leave it for now. But there's so much there. I know better than to go too deep into certain topics when I've had a bit to drink. But I'm enjoying the stream, and I hope y'all are as well. We have definitely touched on some spicy things. Where's the T4B alloys? Dude, I know. I'm ringing the bell. I'm sorry, dude, but if you're holding Dimensional Arcade against the game, let it go. Thanks, y'all. Woo! I got to one of the 30 ones. Like, it's really only these that we need quick fill for. The 8s and smaller, I kind of want to be intentional about. It's just the 20s and 30s where I want to just spam them. Like, none of these are actually good matchups, and that's fine. I'll swap those two. No worries, Ruff. I got you. I forget if I said this out loud, Ghost, but yeah, I think if things are getting to you, I think it's important to do things like stepping down. That's just healthy. Welcome, Alcapel. I think it's just Kabam's design perspective versus player's perspective. Yeah. And that's something we have to balance, right? Because we can't just say like tough, we need to do these things and you need to get over it. And so that we're not going to do that. But we also do need to make sure that we're keeping the lights on. And just, yeah, balancing those two is part of the struggle. Punisher against Bastion and Okoye against Nebula. Yep, that'll do it. Oh, this is going to be so bad because we have the extra debuffs. No, wait. He doesn't have a special 3. It'll be fine. What the flying frick was whatever just happened with my inputs? Because that is not the order in which I hit them. M'Baku's counter just auto-filling because of towers is very funny. That is how RNG works, yeah. Tends to be easier to accept if you get what you want. It's funny, clubs. That's funny, Walrus. Congrats on the auction. Hope it didn't set you back too much. Oops, I think I just tapped next twice. I wonder if I ran out of... Or I wonder if I lost an energy. Snap lights. The worst. Oh, I get you, Ghost. I've had some remarkably bad early pulls. Thanks for the follow. Also, I just realized I have not been getting the follow sound notification this whole time, which is probably because my headphones are plugged in. The towers is stressful. I take it that means you've gotten high enough for them to be stressful. I hate like 6 energy double tapping. Yeah. I've kind of been conditioning myself to tap on the screen above the bottom to make sure I'm only hitting the button once. Ah, okay. I get the rank thing. Yeah, if you're watching the leaderboard, that probably will be stressful, especially as more and more people get more time to play, unfortunately for you. Actually, this is probably just, yep. I really need to remember when he's over leveled, I can just do that. I need his ascension so bad. That's funny, man. But that makes sense. Oops. I used Lumitrix against Ghost again. I was specifically not going to do that. But this is what I mean. The large blocks. Does it matter? Take care, clubs. 7 is the last one, right? Because I did finally finish it, and it was good. It's, yeah. Good world building is, I think, what I can say on stream, because I am not going to be the guy who spoils something. But I hope you keep enjoying it. For those of you who aren't following, we're talking about the book series Dungeon Crawler Carl. Highly recommend. Very fun. Eight is the last. Okay, then I read 8. But, oh, okay, so I know what 7 is. Yeah, 7 was fun. How will the remaining class towers be released? It's just 2 a week, right? I have to grind to keep my rank. That is definitely the idea of the mode. I have no idea where I am. Probably not that high. Even though we've been going for 2 hours. But that's okay. This is not something that needs to be done on launch day. You certainly do feel the Ascension CR. Yeah, and these rewards are getting real up here. Where are we at? 77?
And I've still got a long way to go. And I'm not gonna lie to y'all, I'm starting to get tired. It's midnight for me, so I think I'm probably gonna call it. We can open a few things. Then I think I will pass y'all Twitch peeps off to another streamer. I'm forgetting a week has passed. Oh, yeah. That makes sense. I understand where you were going there. Woo! I haven't seen 44 to claim in a while. That's insane. Okay, it's mostly just shards. That's fine. Min, as someone who's on the econ team, which is basically the same as monetization, right? You guys do all of the same things, and this isn't a remotely triggering joke for you. I'm going to need you to get on the ability to claim more than one objective level at once. This is fine. This doesn't happen very often. But this is so many runs. Gambit Relic works with Shatterstar. In what sense? Like bursts of... I guess the bursts plus the Daunted is what you're asking? Kind of like the way that Gentle interacts with it? Because if so, yes, that would work quite well. Thanks. Yeah, this felt productive. And like a few more of these streams, I'm caught up. A few more of these streams each week. That's fine. That's content. Bluntly, I make money from streaming, so it's money in my pocket. Hopefully it's entertainment for y'all. There was good conversation today. I'm happy. Oh, that's so many selectors. No first appearance luck for you. Think it's easier to claim from inventory overflow. Theoretically, it shouldn't really be different. It's basically all I skip is the scrolling I'm doing, but that is a good shout. Nice, Harry. Saga Tower 2 and 3 didn't give Realm Tower points. Interesting. Maybe they're not meant to, reading the points that way? I'm not sure. I'll keep an eye out for that. People have done good work. There's a lot of spicy stuff in here. Ooh, that is a good chunk of Essentia. Don't mind if I do. Now that's an econ matter. Can someone nerf She-Hulk? She's ruining my mutant run. Dude, that
That ability accuracy she has is so annoying. And I know I kind of did the same thing, but at least I made it a type on Deathless. Yeah, it's rough. I hear you. I'm not going to bother with the Nexus because I'm just going to open it and do something like pick Rocket. Fine. Up to top 95 now? Nice, dude. Yeah, you're crushing it. I didn't realize my 5-star Kate was that low. No, actually, I did realize that because I remember running into that when I was doing the SideQuest Coliseum stuff. Anywho. So many crystals. I'm not going to bother with all of these right now. But it's cool to see them. A lot of shards. Couple titans. Thanks for the follow. Okay. We did pick up a good chunk of 7-star shards. That's nice to see. We've got some stuff to trade in the sigil store, and we get some pump it up valiants. That is cool. No, 13% base. Yeah. I appreciate the granularity, though. Yeah, as expected. Nothing much. All right. I think I'm probably going to save my rank ups, both because we have July 4th coming and because theoretically I might need one to like clear a floor as we get higher. So I should be a little precious with it. But I'm enjoying thinking about it that way. This is cool. Anyway, thank you everybody. I'm gonna dip because, like I said, it's midnight. But as usual, I'm gonna shut off the YouTube stream here. So thank y'all.